Welcome back to Crackpot Sports. Going to talk today about the two AFC NFC Championship games. Well, it was like one each, but two games all together. What do you think about? A lot of people are saying they should have one on Saturday, one on Sunday night.
I mean, I think it makes sense. Like prime time, everybody. I think you get a bigger audience.
Yeah, I mean, because that's a lot of football.
The casual worry about like extra day of rest.
Right. Yeah. Is the casual fan gonna? Yeah, that's a lot of football. I mean, because I'll be honest with you, I watched the first half of the Eagles 49ers game and I said, okay, it's done. It's over at halftime. I just said I just figured there was no way. I had I had grandkids coming, so I had to take people to the airport and all this different stuff. So I said, all right, I'm not missing anything. But I like the idea of having it on Saturday and just rotate it every other year. 1 year the AFC plays on Saturday.
Right.
Following year, the NFC plays on Saturday. And also they're talking about doing what we were talking about a few weeks ago about moving the AFC Championship game, NFC Championship games to a neutral site.
And it just seems like more money.
It is more money, but
your audio got knocked off. There you go.
Anyway, you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you can have like cities like bidding to host like the NFC AFC Championship games. Like,
I get it, but what's the reward? And now that I've even heard rumors they're talking about adding an eighth team, so there's no bye. I mean, it used to be two buys. The top two teams got buys. Now they've added that seventh team, so only one team gets a bye. I mean, having a bye is a big deal. I mean, it's a long season. It's 17 games. And most of the teams had to play in the 17th game because they wanted to get that bye or they wanted to make sure they got in the playoffs and positioning. So what's going to be the incentive for teams? Okay, if you take away the buys, all right, screw it. I go, all right, I'm playing that team. All right, I'm just going to stay where I'm at. I think you might have teams tanking it on purpose. Randy, maybe San Diego can finally host a championship game. Actually, they hosted 3 Super Bowls and 1 AFC Championship game. So there's that.
And a couple World Series.
Yeah, a couple World Series and, and the NCAA Championship back in 1975. So, okay, Randy, I see where you're going. But again, I think I can see the NFL doing it because they're greedy, but a lot of fans buy tickets hoping to get the games, buy season tickets, hoping to get playoff games, right? Playoff tickets. So if you make it neutral, now again, you could make a ton of money. The NFL. I hope they don't do it. I hope they don't add that 8th team because you had Tampa Bay that was under 500.
Yeah, I hope they keep it the same, but I wouldn't mind if they did that. Like, I don't know, it seems like a little fun.
I don't have a team. I mean, I have 31 teams or 30 teams, whatever it is, and one team I don't root for. But I just think you're going to get a lot of pissed off people out there, but people will still go to the games.
Plus, it could be fun, like almost like college bowl games. Like you're traveling to like warm cities like San Diego, Miami, New Orleans, Los Angeles.
Well, San Diego doesn't have a big enough stadium right now. It only holds 35,000. Well, they play the Holiday Bowl at Petco holds 42,000, but I don't think that's enough for hosting a game unless they build a stadium, which they haven't done. But anyway, we'll see what happens. But we had one good game and one really terrible game. We'll start with the terrible game. Eagles 31, 49ers 7. Once Purdy got hurt, it was
over.
Done. I go, who's their backup? I go, Josh Johnson. Is that guy still in the league?
The guy who's played for half the teams, 13 teams he's played for.
I think he played at USD with Jim Harbaugh back in the day. Well, Jerry makes a good point. Playoff teams should be ranked by record instead of divisions when seeding. We talked about that.
Yeah, that's how the NBA does it.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Where Tampa Bay? Why is Tampa Bay hosting a playoff game? That should never happen. And a team under 500 should not be in the playoffs. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Josh, and he also played for the.
I thought he was from Maryland. I thought.
Is he from Maryland? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but or maybe he played for the I think he played for the San Diego team that they only lasted like 6 or 7 games, and then the league folded.
XFL?
Was it the XFL? Might have been. I can't remember. I can't keep track. But anyway, yeah. Once Purdy got hurt, and now Purdy he's got elbow issue,
torn UCL, out 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. So I think Tom Brady's coming to the 49ers. I think it's a lock now.
I'm still going Raiders. I think they put too much investment in Trey Lance. 3 first-round picks. Like,
yeah, okay, he made a mistake.
I mean, he is still cheap. Like either way you keep like Purdy and Trey Lance, they're still only costing you what, $5 million, $6 million.
Yeah, but you need that quarterback. You need that quarterback knows how to win. And unfortunately,
you need that quarterback can lead to a 7-9 record.
Exactly. Well, he's going to go to a team that's loaded. And again, if I'm Tom Brady, I say just give me the league minimum. Take the other money, get me a good offensive line, get me a stud receiver or tight end, Gronk, good running back, whatever it takes. The Zebra says, whichever team wins, we won't be hearing the end of it. What do you think?
Well, yeah, some people think that Eagles might be one of the greatest teams ever because, like, I think Hurts is 17-1 as a starter this year, and then you have Kansas City, 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years.
Yeah. And Jerry says, ask Indy how bringing in an old quarterback works. Well, when you bring in old quarterbacks you can compare Matt Ryan to Tom Brady.
Carson Wentz.
Rivers is the only one they had that was any good. And I don't know why they didn't try to bring him back for another year.
Didn't have enough room for all his kids?
That could have been it. Maybe was that in the thing. I don't know, because we had Jalen Hurts, 121 yards, no TDs, no interceptions, 1 rushing TD. Miles Sanders had 2 TDs, and you also had the catch that wasn't. And
the ball hit the ground, jumped around.
And that was a big play because that led to a touchdown, and that was on 3rd down and 8, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so the Eagles would have had to have punted, but it's early in the game. Do you blame Shanahan for not challenging when it happened so fast? I guess they couldn't get the replay of the angle. That's what they were saying. The guys in the booth were saying they couldn't get the replay that shows the ball actually hitting the ground. So I don't think you can blame him, but do you just take a chance and throw your flag?
It's a horrible mistake by Shanahan. He could have lost 24-7 instead of 31-7.
I don't know. Maybe something else happens. 49ers get the ball back, and maybe Purdy doesn't get hurt because maybe it's just different. What do you think?
I was shocked after like Purdy got hurt and whatever. Their defense was hanging tough, like keeping them in the game.
Yeah, but you can't. Against a team like the Eagles, have so much speed, and you can only do so much if your offense isn't providing any. And when it was 14-7, and when Josh Johnson fumbled that ball, I go, I don't know how he didn't recover it. He was the only one around it for a long time. He was
right.
It's like almost he was afraid to dive into the pile. It's almost like he did a Cam Newton, where he didn't dive into the pile to get the ball, and then the Eagles score a touchdown in the half. It's 21-7. I go, game is done. It's over.
And then you just saw San Francisco handing off the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was just I mean, That's what another thing too. They're saying, why doesn't the NFL just have a third emergency quarterback?
It's like, no,
It,
53 players. That's the rule.
yeah,
We can't have 54.
It's a joke to bring a player that's already hurt
Mm-hmm.
just to hand off. It's ridiculous. It's the NFL. You make gobs of money. What are you paying that guy? Maybe, I don't know what a guy comes off the practice, whatever. Even if it's a league minimum, it's what, $400,000, $500,000.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
And that guy's not going to be a star. So it's not like you're hoarding quarterbacks.
You have to go NHL style, where like the emergency backup goalie is like somebody in the stands or like the goalie coach.
Yeah.
Now coming into the game, we got Steve Young, 55-year-old Steve Young.
Yeah. I don't know. The NFL sometimes it just boggles my mind. Sometimes I just look and go, how is it that you make so much money? You got a lot of crappy owners. You had a lot of crappy teams this season, and you can't afford to have an emergency. I mean, is it the poor owners, the Spanoses, the Mark Davises that are saying, like Randy says, money is the reason, but it still doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I don't know. It's dumb.
The game would have been much more entertaining if they would have had a third quarterback ready to go.
Well, it wouldn't have, but it just.
Oh no! I'm saying they would have at least have a chance to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean, once Brock Purdy got hurt, the Eagles knew that Josh Johnson wasn't going to beat him through the air, and so they just stopped. They just stacked the line to stop the run. I don't know. Anyway, anything else you got on this game?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
I suffered through that game. I watched the whole game.
Yeah, again, I feel bad for you, but like I said, I take people to the airport, and I had grandkids coming over, so I had to because I told my wife, I said, look, whatever you want me to do, it's got to be done by 6:30. I really want to watch that game. Of course, at 6:30, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? I'm like going. She goes, what's with the attitude? I go, what did I say? I did everything you asked of me, and then you need more.
You're like, I got Burrow Mahomes at 6:30.
Yeah, I go. That's the game I wanted to watch. I thought that was going to be the best matchup. But we had Kansas City winning 23-20 over Cincinnati. Burrow did not have a great game, but I don't think his offensive line was not keeping. He was pressured most of the game, I think.
Yeah, for like the first quarter or two, he was getting hit and sacked a lot.
Yeah, getting hit, sacked a lot.
They made some adjustments, and they were able to like stay in the game after that. And I liked how it was like they were keeping it close and going back and forth.
Jerry says, Cindy can watch this, right? Yeah, but she won't.
But I have nothing to hide. Why would she suffer through this?
Exactly. I'm not afraid. But neither team could run the ball, which shocked me, since he couldn't run the ball. But Mahomes gutted it out, 326 yards, 2 TDs, 1 big fumble, because I thought they were going to ice the game, and it just dropped out of his hand. And then you had Burrow had 270 yards, 1 TD, and 2 INTs, which were huge.
And unlike Josh Johnson, Mahomes was fighting hard for that fumble.
Yeah,
he just had like one arm like reaching under the pile.
Well, to be fair to Mahomes, he's already beat up.
Yeah, but he was struggling. Like you could see it like a lot of times during the game when his ankle, like he would hobble a lot.
I was listening to the talking heads, the experts, and they were saying, because we said last week, if Mahomes plays, odds are he won't be able to do what Mahomes is able to do, and that's to avoid being sacked, scramble, making things happen. And he did a couple times, but you could tell a lot of times he was just like, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. They said it wouldn't be an issue because he's not a true running quarterback. I go, well, it's not what anyone's saying. He just makes things. He's just elusive, and he makes he's able to
buy time for magic. Like Kelsey to get open. Yeah,
right. And then when his receiver, he lost his top 3 receivers. I'm like, and he had nobody open. I honestly think if this game when it went to overtime, I think Cincinnati would have won the game.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it's just like time just ran out on Cincinnati. It was like they were coming back. They were looking better.
Yeah. But Chris Jones was just
He dominated.
They could not stop him. And I know that Bengal fans were complaining about a lot of holding calls, like in that last call, where there was 15-yard penalty by Joseph Asai.
Asai.
There was holding, but if you watch the game, Chris Jones was being held on almost every play. They're like grabbing him, pulling him back, and holding because they couldn't stop him. They just couldn't stop him. So, to me, the holding calls are things that happen probably all the time. That was just a stupid penalty by a guy who had a pretty good game. He was playing a pretty good game up to that point. I mean, it was just I don't know what his mindset was.
But it was like a little close. Like I think Mahomes only had like one step out on the sidelines, and then he got hit.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, of course.
Do it?
Yeah,
why do it? Why take a chance at the referee? And people actually, the refs. No, no ref wants to call that call. No ref wants to throw the flag and say, "Oh, here I've just dictated." At least I think 99% of them wouldn't want to do that. I know when I was reffing hockey, I hated when someone would do something stupid. I go, ugh. It's like, and they look at you. I go, I have to call it. I go, I don't want to call it. I want to dictate the game. But I just thought, and I felt bad for the guy. He's on this bench. He's crying. He's emotional.
And especially when after the game, like CBS is just like focusing on him for like over and over. Like not even showing like Mahomes or Burr. Like,
no.
All right, let's go back to the grief. He's crying more.
Yeah,
more tears.
And his teammates are trying to get him to go back to the locker room, but he's just like going, I don't want to go there. And then you had his one teammate say, why do you blink and touch the guy? And he apologized for it afterwards. But it's just like, again, all the other penalties, the holding and all the different stuff, to me doesn't matter. When you do something like that, that's not something that happens all the time. That's not something where you can call holding all the time. I just right when he did it, I go, oh my God, he just cost him the game. And then when I saw the flag was thrown, I go, that's the game. I go, and I think if they would have went to overtime, I don't think and plus Mahomes was hurt. He wandered off the field. I think he was hurt on that play. I think Cincy would have won the game.
I thought it was even worse because it looked like after he hit Mahomes, like his right leg almost looked like an ACL tear or something. Like his knee buckled.
Mahomes or
the
Osai?
Cincinnati Osai.
Yeah, I did. He was holding his knee, but again, you cannot make that play. It's like, again, all the time. It was Cincinnati was it Cincinnati, and they ran out of bounds, or maybe it was the 49ers. I can't remember what game it was. I go, why are you running out of bounds? Why are you stopping? It was like third and long or second and long. I go, why are you running out of bounds? I think it might have been the 49er game. I said, get out of it. Stay in bounds. Anyway, I don't understand that.
I was looking forward to overtime. I was like, oh, let's keep this game going. Let's go some more back and forth between Cincy and KC.
Yeah. Because the best thing is if the other team scores a touchdown, you at least have a chance on the regular season. You can come back to tie. But I don't think, as beat up as the Chiefs were, especially the receivers, I don't think they could have. I don't think they would have scored a touchdown.
Yeah, they had their backup tight end playing wide receiver.
Yeah, and they were double teaming on Kelsey, and the other guys just couldn't get. You had the one receiver who was doing pretty well. He had a great game.
Well, that's the same thing with Kansas City. They were double teaming Chase and Higgins.
Yeah.
And just all right, throw it to your third wide receiver or Hayden Hurst.
Yeah. It just, like I said, I like both teams. I kind of was rooting for Cincinnati because I like Joe Burrow, but I also like Patrick Mahomes. I didn't really care who won, but I know a lot of people are complaining about the officiating. I mean, I didn't get why they stopped it. I mean, they did show that the referee was coming in.
The guy running on the field, yeah.
Yeah, but they never gave an explanation. I never saw why they stopped it.
So it was an incomplete pass but the clock kept running.
Oh, so he stopped. He had to stop the. Okay.
Yeah, to get the clock back in order.
And it was loud there, and they were saying they didn't hear a whistle, but it doesn't look good, when you think they would have noticed that before they allowed the snap. I mean, it's on the referees. I mean, you have to look up. And like I said, I've done that. Where I look up and go, why is the clock running? When I'm reffing, clock should be stopped. What's going on? Clock. But I don't, it's not professional either. You've got volunteers in the thing with what I'm doing. But anyway, Chiefs win 23-20. I think people are saying that since he might not be back because, Brown is the owner of the Bengals is not one for spending a lot of money. Burrows is going to want some money.
Yeah,
a lot of
even still, I think Burrow's third year, so going into fourth year. Chase is second year.
Yeah, but does he hold out though? I mean, to me, he's taken a beating his first 3 years. 1 year, does he say, "Screw it, I want my extension now. I want that guaranteed money now. I'm not playing a fourth year."
I think Cincinnati's fine though. But who are the other big expensive players like Mixon? I think Mixon might have 1 or 2 more years on his deal.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think they have.
That's what they were saying that's what they were saying on the radio today, that they're worried that Cincinnati will not, because ownership has never been really strong, that this maybe they've been there. I go, well, if you got Burrow, you always have a chance because he's a great quarterback.
Like Randy says, Cincinnati Mayor had a bad game.
Yeah, God.
Calling Kansas City's stadium Burrowhead.
Burrowhead and saying that Mahomes was Burrow was his daddy. I go, God, you had a what are you just shut up. It's like Joey Bosa was outside the you see that video of him outside Philadelphia?
I'm rich, I make more money than you or something.
Yeah, and he goes, is that what you're Snapchatting with your buddies? I go, ooh, that was cringeworthy. I go, Joey, you're just not good at the comebacks. You just walk away, because the guy just was egging him on and said, hey, are the Chargers playing this week? How are those funds? I got money. He just kept going back at the guy, and I'm like going, just walk away. Just walk. You're coming across as just not very bright.
And you're going to go viral. When you say that, you're going to go viral.
Yeah, that guy egged him on purpose, and Joey took the bait. Anyway, he's a Charger now, so he's an LA Charger now. So he's still in San Diego. I felt bad for him. I mean, there are some people that could, there's athletes that come back and they're good at the snapping back at someone. Joey's not. I just said, he's lucky. That guy's lucky Joey didn't have his helmet. He was throwing his helmet at him. But that's all. Like I said, Chris Jones and the pass rush for the Chiefs is looking, and they got a lot of young players on defense. So they've been to 5 straight AFC Championship games. This is their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years.
Yeah, 3rd 3 last 4. So
yeah, and there's no reason they couldn't come back again next year.
And then also, Mahomes only played the only neutral site or road games he's played is in Super Bowls. Every other playoff game has been at Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, or Eric sleeping with Bieniemy, I mean, I don't know if Eric Bieniemy's has he even come up in conversations for all the jobs that are open?
I haven't seen him interview with anybody.
No. And they're saying that the Broncos, the reason Sean Payton didn't want the job, and the San Francisco defensive coordinator said, hey, no, I don't want the job with Denver, is that they're worried about Wilson, but they're also worried that these owners are going to be more like Jerry Jones type owners, where they're just interfering. And how often does that work? How often does that work when the owners, you need to hire people that are football people that know what they're doing. And they have a chance to be the Washington Commanders as far as attendance. If they keep losing like they are, I mean, fans will stop. I mean, as good as that fan base is, as strong as that fan base is, Washington had a strong fan base, and they're non-existent now. People only put up with losing so long. So that's all I got to say about that.
He should go to a team with a owner who goes on a secret yacht and tries to get Tom Brady.
Well, I know that Denver went and talked with Jim Harbaugh.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Jim Harbaugh,
we flew and met with him.
That's who I would go after because it wouldn't cost. It's just going to cost you money and no picks. Whereas Sean Payton's going to cost you money and picks, and they don't have picks, and I don't think they can afford to give up picks to get Sean Payton in there.
Do they have any picks after the Russell Wilson trade?
Well, they traded what's his name to your team.
Oh yeah, they got 1 first-round pick from that.
Yeah, first-round pick. So at least that's something. But yeah, they gave up a lot for Russell Wilson. Well, that's all I got about the 2 games. I guess we can move on to now. I think I figured it out right. I think I had 1 win, and you had none. Is that correct?
Well, shouldn't you be 2-0?
No, I picked the spread with the Niners. I took the 2.5 points. Yeah, Randy says Harbaugh announced he's staying at Michigan, but yeah, he also met with he did still meet with the Broncos. Yeah, let's see. Let's go back. Let's see here. Yeah, we both took the points in the Niners. You took the Niners straight. I took Philadelphia. We both took Cincinnati to win, and we took Cincinnati giving -1 at the time. So
all I know is I got nothing.
Yeah.
So whatever lead you had, you have more of a lead.
I'm 8-6. You're 6-8. Do we have a point spread on the Super Bowl yet?
It is Philadelphia by 2.
By 2. -2 +2. All right.
Both teams 14-3.
Both teams. I mean, Philadelphia has so much speed, but I think I'm going to take the Chiefs and the 2 points. I'm going to take the 2 points. What say you?
I am hoping Mahomes gets healthy in these next 2 weeks. Just so we have like a great game, like back and forth. Like you have like 2 great offenses.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has looked shaky a little bit since Hurts has come back. Like they haven't looked like before he got hurt. Like they were like dominating.
Yeah, he's not throwing as well as he was before the injury.
And then even like running the ball, like he hasn't been able to like break free. Have like all these like long.
Well, I think they're also telling him not to run. You know, you don't, because he got hurt running the ball.
Right.
I think that so if I'm Kansas City, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out stacking the line and say, okay, you beat me, Jalen. You beat me. I'm not going to let your running back. I'm not going to let Sanders beat me. You beat me.
I mean, he's got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. It's like,
yeah,
Dallas Goedert. He's got some good weapons if they do that.
Yeah, I mean he's a great young quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not 100%, like almost like Mahomes, but Mahomes has won the last 2 games even though he's on one leg. And you can see a couple times, you know, he would do a hop and throw the ball yesterday. I think with 2 weeks to go, I think he can get because it's not going to be 100%, but it should be like 25%, you know, 75%.
Just so he's not like hobbling around after every run or every throw.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened to him yesterday when he got hit out of bounds, because he wanted off the field right away. He just attempt the field goal. I got to get off the field. So what say you? You're taking the 2 points or giving 2 points?
All right. So this game is worth 100 points, right? So I'm gonna go Philadelphia beating the 2 point spread.
Okay. So Mike is giving the 2 points, and so straight up, I'm going to root for the AFC team. I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm Chiefs all the way.
I will be rooting for Rihanna at halftime.
Oh, Rihanna at halftime, yeah. She's still pregnant?
Oh no, she had her kid like 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh, did she? Okay,
yeah.
That's how I keep up on the music scene. Amazon has this new thing where you can do like music trivia, and it's my wife will do the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and I pretty much beat her in those categories. And then she'll go do the 90s, do 2000s, and I'm like going, I don't know. Is Beyonce? I don't know. Is it Beyonce? I have no idea.
Is that on?
No idea.
Is that on Amazon Prime?
No, it's just on your Amazon, like Alexa.
Oh, Alexa. All right.
Yeah, you can. We just do it for free. Right now, we're just doing it for free. Every now and then we'll pop it on, but then you can pay for that, like 5,000 different songs for each category or something like that. It's pretty. They give you like 6 seconds. And you're like, oh, I don't know who that is. And a lot of times I go, oh, that's that. But anyway, I pretty much clean house in the 60s, 70s, 80s, but anything past that, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I just don't.
You're like Journey. Yeah,
it's just nope. I'm a loser. So you're going with Philadelphia. I'm going with Kansas City. Like you, though, I just hope for a game. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Back and forth. Take a lead, come back. Take a lead, come back. Yeah.
Something aside, I don't want to see you never want to see a blowout.
I think
unless you're the team that you're supporting has the big lead, but if you're someone else, like you don't want the blowout.
Sadly, I think we're due for a blowout, though. I think last couple of years we've had like great Super Bowls come down to the end. It's been a while since we've had a blowout.
But these two teams, I think, are pretty evenly matched. They both have two great quarterbacks. I think Mahomes is the better quarterback.
Yeah, but if Mahomes comes in hobbled and his receivers are still injured.
Yeah, if his receivers are injured, I don't know what they're going to do. But we said last week that Andy Reid is very good at Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid are really good at coming up with different types of plays, and they tried that hook and ladder.
That was pretty.
Would have worked. Would have worked if Kelsey would have thrown it. He
thrown
just
a little better.
Gonna. But that's all I got.
He forgot how to throw. He forgot his college days when he was a quarterback.
Yeah, loser. Well, he made the right move to tight end, right?
Yeah, probably the best tight end in history.
I don't know. I would go with Winslow or Gates. Two San Diego tight ends. But yeah, you could make a case for Kelsey being one of the best.
I mean, you already see him coming close to like Jerry Rice's playoff records. Like he's second behind him in almost every category.
The problem with football, and I say this all the time, is you have to almost go by era because because the rules are just so much different than they were 20, 30. They're changing. You can't touch a receiver without getting called. There was a terrible pass interference called on Cincinnati. I thought that call was the worst.
Randy's going with Ted Kwolek. That's the best tight end ever.
He must be from Penn State, right, Randy? Now the Chargers had John Cappelletti back in the 70s and 80s, early 80s. He was from Penn State, won the Heisman. Nothing.
But you got Tony Gonzalez, you got Gronk.
Yeah, I got Gronk. Again, I mean, it's hard. How do you take someone over Gronkowski? Do you take someone over Tony Gonzalez? I don't know. Penn State and San Diego, I think. Name's not ringing a bell. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got.
Shout out to you, Ted Kwolek.
Yeah. Thanks for playing for Penn State and San Diego, I think. But we'll be back after the Super Bowl, like the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right. And hopefully we have a good game to talk about, and it's exciting. Hopefully the referees you hate to hear the referees the next day, people bitch about the call. I mean, I get it, but you can't dispute that one where he pushed him out of bounds. I know Burrow got knocked down, by Frank Clark. It was pretty late. I don't know why it wasn't called. If you're Tom Brady, you get that call. But it is what it is. They either call or they don't.
And fingers crossed, 20 years later, we get another wardrobe malfunction for Rihanna.
I don't see that happening. The NFL is not going to allow that to happen. I still like it because I was walking somewhere and I went, did I just see a boob? We had like a little party. So goes, yes, you did. I go, huh. All right. But that's all I got. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back in
Next
2
Monday night?
weeks.
Or 2 weeks from now, Monday night.
2 weeks from
9:30.
2 weeks from 9:30 to talk about whoever wins the game, and hopefully, I hope it comes down to a last-second field goal. I mean, I know it's bad for the fans when that happens. When that linebacker pushed him out. I went, that's a Charger play right there. That's a Charger pushing him out and getting the penalty. From San Diego to Los Angeles, that is a Charger play, 100%. And the same reaction because Bengal fans, I know a few. They're down, they're depressed because they easily could have won the game, but it didn't happen.
Also, one last note. I was surprised how many Bengals fans were in the crowd. Like,
yeah,
they were loud.
Yeah.
Like
they were loud, and that shocked me that the Chiefs fans sold their tickets. They don't usually sell. Usually, that's maybe
the Chiefs fans are like, all right, 5 degrees, and I can make $500, $600 right here. Maybe I'll watch it at home on TV.
I get it, but I'm like you. I had that. I was going to talk about that, but I forgot all about it. I was shocked because there was a couple times where I go, oh, they're cheering for the team.
Kansas City would be on offense, and you'd hear like the crowd like so loud, like on defense, for the defense. Yeah,
I'm like going, because that's not what Kansas City does. You don't take over Kansas. You don't take over Arrowhead.
Mm.
I mean, you never see that. But I mean, even when they're playing Pittsburgh or someone, the Niners, you don't see that. But it did happen.
It's probably a combination of like Kansas City's been so good for like so long now, like for 5-6 years in a row. Whereas like Cincinnati, it's just like the last 2 years, it's just so much excitement. Like, all right, yeah, we'll travel, we'll spend the money.
So they're willing to pay. Yeah, I get it. If I had the tickets and I could get my season tickets paid for the following year, yeah, I'd probably sell the tickets. I mean, I know it's not being a good fan, but like we said, the NFL is all about money, 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 money. So why shouldn't the fans do the same thing? Why do I have to be loyal when you're not?
Mm-hmm.
Dean Spanos. All right, that's it. I'm out of here.
All right. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everybody.